Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the current state of Bitcoin. Are we bearish or bullish? We're going to be going into a number of things in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of people asking me about this weekend, saying that they're worried, they don't know what to do. Do they sell their crypto and then buy back after the weekend's kind of finished? They're looking at certain support and resistance levels. We're going to be discussing a number of things in this video, guys, and I'm hopefully going to be offering perhaps some reassurance to you in regards to your investment in the crypto space. Let me just first off start by saying directly after I've made that statement that I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I say or do on this video is financial advice. You are responsible for what you decide to do with your own money. That is part of the crypto space, and that's really what cryptocurrency in many respects is all about: self-custody, self-control, over your value system of choice or your financial tool. So with that being said, guys, let's jump straight into this video. Now you can see the market's currently valued at $1.6 trillion. We have seen a significant sell off, guys. And ultimately I want to talk about a number of things. Lots of people worried about this weekend. Really the only reason people are worried about this weekend, and we'll discuss it. We have looked at Bitcoin. We've mentioned it on a number of videos where we said, look, we have a reverse head and shoulders forming up right now. This has pretty much done a 360, and actually out of this reverse head and shoulders, we've had a probably what looks to me like one of the most textbook head and shoulders I've seen in the crypto space. You've essentially had a head and shoulders form here that has actually been validated, and ultimately, not only has it been validated, we've broken above or below, this EMA. This kind of paired up with the fact that we're going into a weekend where we know we traditionally sell off. When I say traditionally, I probably shouldn't say traditionally. Recently, weekends have been a kind of sell-off couple of days, certainly Sunday more heavily so. This has really become a self-fulfilling prophecy as people actually open shorts and kind of add sell pressure to that, knowing that that's kind of how this market moves. So we have a head and shoulders that's been validated. We are below our 20 EMA on the 4-hour low. We're also going into a weekend. There are a number of reasons why people are bearish right now, and I do actually think they have a good point. That is short term, ladies and gentlemen. I think this weekend is going to be and we said last weekend was going to be a trying time. I do not think it's going to be necessarily a trying time. I think it's just going to be perhaps a great opportunity to accumulate. But also I think it's we're going to see how it unfolds. But right now, short term, I am bearish. Long term, however, and for those of you who've been following the channel for long enough, you will know my stance on the crypto space. I'm a blockchain bull. I ultimately think that blockchain and its kind of coming out to the world is kind of like the invention of a car. People are going to choose to take a car over a horse any day. I ultimately think that blockchain technology is going to play a fundamental role in the world that we're moving towards. And something like Bitcoin, in my opinion, we've predicted $160,000 for Bitcoin, perhaps by the end of the year, or certainly by the end of this cycle, which is kind of in accordance with the end of the year. And we still think that is absolutely on the table. So short term right now, you are bearish. Lots of people looking at this Wyckoff accumulation schematic, which would dictate, we all know that we had a Wyckoff distribution schematic here. Essentially what people are looking at now is, okay, well, if we've already had the composite man, the insiders and the whales kind of manipulate the market and do this, what's to say they aren't going to follow that kind of same rule book and accumulate in a similar structure to what Wyckoff set out. So that would kind of predict that we do go lower before then going higher. That's totally fine, guys, if we do that. Sometimes in a bull market you actually need to, certainly if we look at a weekly time frame for Bitcoin, you were heavily overextended from your EMA, and you'd kind of got a bit of ahead of yourself. If you even looked at previous bull cycles for Bitcoin, you're actually outperforming 2017 in many ways in terms of ROI. So, lots going on, guys. But ultimately, my conviction is that you are going to recover from this. We're going to talk about that just now before we go into a little bit more, reasons to perhaps be bullish or bearish. So short term right now, we are bearish. There's no getting around that, in my opinion. You have this head and shoulders that's formed, being validated. We're going into a weekend. We're below the EMA. The sentiment, the sentiment isn't great right now. I think a lot of people have lost confidence on the retail side of things when they really needn't had, and we're going to talk about why that is just now. So what I want to pull up, guys, I want to pull up this. This is from Crypto Amsterdam. Many people shouting for complacence rally based on the recent breakdown. Do you think the last 70 days of Bitcoin price action looks like euphoria blow off top? And he's looking at something called the Wall Street cheat sheet here, something we spoke about on the channel about 9 months ago, where we were accumulating Bitcoin and we said this is why, you know, Bitcoin looks perfect. It's setting up exactly the same as what Wall Street kind of look at. You know, the kind of macro trend of Bitcoin looked fantastic. And it looked like a kind of textbook Wall Street cheat sheet chart. And essentially what he's saying here is he doesn't think we've even entered that euphoria stage, and we're a couple of stages before that. I do subscribe to that. He's looking at the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory and how the cycles kind of work. And ultimately, guys, I do think you do still have quite a while to come in this bull run, and you are sort of halfway through, in my opinion. And I think, you know, it's usually the second half of the year where things get very, very bullish. So right now, long term, I am exceptionally bullish, regardless of this sell-off. We spoke to you about what, you know, lots of people calling for a bear market, and we made a video where we said, look, yes, there is definitely a bearish sentiment right now, but we do not believe we're in a bear market. The only kind of reasons people gave for us being in a bear market was just how severe this sell-off was. We've spoke to you on a number of occasions about how volatile emerging markets are, and that in an emerging market, you actually can have sell-offs that are this severe and still be in a bull market. You can still recover from them. We certainly saw that back in March 2020 when we had the kind of, you know, the kind of scare that we did, and that was actually more of a severe sell-off that we did indeed recover from. And ultimately, you know, that was around about a 60. I've not drawn that right, but I know off the top of my head it was around about a 6% sell-off. You did indeed recover from that. You know, you kind of walked out before testing your kind of local highs, and then, you know, continuing on in the bull run. I ultimately think that the structures not only look very similar for March 2020, and you know, the current cycle and sell-off that we've just seen look exceptionally similar. So long term, guys, I'm exceptionally bullish. Short term, I am bearish. I've got to be honest with you guys. I don't like what I'm seeing. This is a very, very textbook. In fact, one of the most textbook head and shoulders that I've actually seen. You know, this would perhaps indicate that you are indeed going to continue to sell off. And if we look at that sort of Wyckoff accumulation schematic, it would suggest the same thing. But regardless of that, all that is for me, ladies and gentlemen, is just a time to accumulate, and that's how I'm going to treat the next couple of months. I do think you are going to have some choppy action, and I do think we're going to play out very similar to the March sell-off, in the sense that we aren't going to just kind of impulse up and out of this. We're going to climb our way out. We're going to, you know, kind of take ground before taking out our prior all-time highs and really getting this show back on the road. I think that's how this is going to play out, regardless of what happens over the next couple of days. And the sell-off is absolutely on the cards. You know, we can see we're already selling off going into the weekend. That's usually a precursor of what's to come. So short-term, bearish. Long-term, bullish. Certainly if you look at the overall crypto space, this is total money in crypto, you can see that the trend is just upwards. And this is really due to the fact that this technology is going to continue to get adopted. We've really not seen any sort of large-scale adoption yet. That is all to come, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you are lucky that you're so early in this space. We know that, you know, no institutions or there are few that have really adopted really Bitcoin as a hedge against, you know, something for people to hold in their balance sheets. Nobody's actually adopted the technology in terms of using it to day. I shouldn't say nobody. There are few, but they're few and far between. It's really not seen any kind of mainstream adoption or large-scale adoption. I think that's all to come for the crypto space, not just Bitcoin, but the crypto space. And at $1.6 trillion, guys, we still have a long way to go. I am certain of that. You know, I could be 100% wrong, and you know, I could be totally wrong, but I believe that truly, and that's really what I'm here to show you on this video. So right now, guys, I do anticipate a recovery in the kind of mid to longer term. Ultimately, right now, you are looking bearish. You can see, certainly when you look at this this candle right here, that, you know, it's kind of wanting to. If you look how much of a wick there is on this candle, this could be a reversal. You know, sort of candle that, you know, could see us sell off even more. You are below your EMA now. We don't want to see any death crosses form or anything like that. Certainly if we pull up another EMA. However, you know, we could pop back above it. And if you look just how overextended you were from this EMA, a kind of pullback to this length or a pullback of this scale could be viewed as absolutely normal. And we spoke about why the sell-off was as severe as it was, with 772,000 people getting liquidated. That has not happened before in the crypto space. We're in a very different market 2017, and if you actually take off the leverage, you'll find that you only really had a sell-off that was definitely comparable to 2017, and that's really the only reason people thought we were in a bear market, because of the severity of the sell-off. So the coming days are going to be something to watch. Long term, I'm still as bullish as I've ever been, and in fact, I've just seen this time period as a real opportunity, a golden opportunity, if you will, to kind of accumulate. And we spoke to you about buy orders we had set on Cardano. We spoke to you. We haven't actually bought Bitcoin in a long time. It was the first time a couple of days ago that we actually bought Bitcoin, and the reason being was because to me it's just at such a discounted price in comparison with where it's going. I see true value in Bitcoin, and I see true value in the crypto space. And at $1.6 trillion, guys, it's almost insulting that it's valued at that kind of a market cap, because there is real value here. And like I say, it's the equivalent to the car coming out and people still wanting to use the horse. Blockchain technology, in terms of how it's going to revolutionize the financial world, and not only the financial world but government systems, educational systems. The list is endless, guys. You can really apply blockchain technology to anything in a similar way that you can the internet, and it is going to like I say, revolutionize a lot of sectors. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. Let's do a quick recap. Short term, bearish. We're going into a weekend. I don't think you're going to have any sort of severe sell-off. And even if there is, I don't think, when I say severe, I mean, I don't think we're going to see a 30-20% sell-off. I think you're just probably going to do a little bit of bleeding out for a bit before you find your bottom. Perhaps Monday, we know that last weekend, Monday, everything kind of picked up. I think it's going to play out in a similar way. And ultimately, I think until the market kind of sentiment changes. How the market sentiment hasn't changed already, guys, is beyond me, because the news that I've been reading has just made me want to buy. Yet there's still a lot of scared people out there. I mean, the conviction that I have in regards to blockchain technology has never been so strong. And we've just gone through a brutal sell-off. So why is it that I'm so bullish on the crypto space, regardless of the fact that some coins sold off, 60% plus? Because I know where this space is going, and investing based on fundamentals and not technical analysis, because something can have great TA and have no fundamentals at all and still perform well. That is usually short-lived. If you want to be in something for any kind of longevity and you want to be an investor, fundamentals is always the kind of starting point to go off, and then you add in the TA, and if that looks kosher, you'll move forwards. So that's all I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. I hope you've all found this useful, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. So remember, short-term, bearish for a short time period until the market kind of picks up. I think we're going to recover, but we're going to walk our way up. Or perhaps we could follow that Wyckoff schematic. But ultimately, guys, the crypto space on any kind of a longer term time frame is only going one way, and that is up, in my opinion. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you all in the next YouTube video. Have a great day.